I'd like to give you a few more statistics, but I think these are important. You know, when we talk about the corporate control over food, I don't know if everybody's familiar with just, again, the extent of the situation and the crisis. So in America, 4 corporations control around 85% of the meat production, the beef production in America. 4 corporations control 50 to 60% of the chicken production. Pork is also up there above 80%. Across every major processed commodity, including all these like flour, wheat flour, milled, these different milled products, you know, all these major commodities, corn, soy. Again, it's 4 corporations controlling 40 to 60% of the nation's market. Now, even mainstream economists say that when you get to 40% or higher of national market control, you're talking about a serious problem in terms of, even on capitalism's terms, unfair competition. 3 corporations control half of the global commercial market for seed. All right, so the very lifeblood of the food supply is being controlled. And we, you know, Monsanto, Syngenta, DuPont, a few of the Dow Chemical, a few of these corporations that are increasingly controlling, you know, not only seeds, but of course the attachment to that, which is pesticides. As Dr. Dyer talked about before, pesticides and GMOs, and GMOs, of course, come along with pesticides. Another one of these myths they like to put out there that it's somehow better for the environment, which it's not. You know, so they control the whole set of terms on which the land, the farmland is being divvied up and how it's being farmed, and then farmers have less and less ability to negotiate anything in the marketplace, both when they're buying seeds and then therefore pesticides and locked into those attached contracts, and then on the selling end as well. When you have these few corporations controlling grain elevators across the Midwest, for instance, it could sound like this really obscure, wonky thing, but what it means is that Cargill might be the only company that a farmer can sell to for like 200 miles. So then they're forced to this choice, you know, well, maybe I could get a better price, but I'm going to pay all my money in gas for my big truck, you know, to get over there. So farmers have less and less ability to negotiate a price in the marketplace as well. More than half of the whole grocery bill goes to 5 corporations. So all the grocery food in America, all the grocery corporations, more than half of that goes to 5 corporations. Walmart alone gets 1/3. So 30 cents of every dollar that we're spending in America on groceries is going to Walmart, which, you know, maybe you've read, but Walmart not only exploits, I mean, they exploit their workers, they're taking in 1/3 of the grocery dollar. And meanwhile, of course, those same exploited workers, many of them are ending up on food stamps. And lo and behold, Walmart takes food stamps. So it's a perfect circle for them, right? One of the significant factors here, I think, when we talk about corporate control is not just the numbers, but what it really means to have these companies control. And I mentioned these markets, but it's also about, again, the kind of production that they require and that they are in the position to demand, which is large-scale commodity production and monocrop production. So again, why is it that we have like massive corn farms, massive soy farms across America, or maybe even sugar beets or wheat, you know, these different commodities? Well, it's not just because farmers are enterprising and they want to get bigger and they want to grow all this stuff. It's what the market is demanding. But the market isn't really just us, right? It's not us saying, grow me some more wheat, grow me some more soy. But corporations that control these markets, and they control all the access points to these markets from the beginning to the end, from the seed to the supermarket, are controlling what farmers grow because those are raw ingredients for processed food. So basically farmers, more and more, unless you're a small farmer or a produce farmer, we have a lot of those in California. I know you've got a lot of great produce farms in Long Island and New York and other places too, but more and more the bulk of production across America is raw ingredients for processed foods Who's running that? The same corporations, sometimes the same corporations. It's also one of the major suppliers for fuel, so ethanol production. And biofuels, which was years ago heralded as like the new thing. And now more and more evidence has shown that it's not helping us at all. I mean, it's helping us drive more. And it might be a little bit cleaner, but actually the net result is not cleaner because ethanol production involves fossil fuels to grow the crops and then to process it. I mean, it's insane. It's literally insane. So a lot of our corn and soy production across America, those big subsidized corporate farms and agribusiness farms, again, are also for meat production. So those same meat packing plants that I talked about before, that's what all these fields are for. Almost all of it is for the animals who live this nasty, brutish, short life, to borrow a famous literary phrase. But, and meanwhile, the farm workers, the factory farm workers, many of them coming up from Mexico and Central America. Why are they coming up here? Because they're economically desperate. Things like NAFTA have made them more economically desperate. Why did NAFTA make them more economically desperate? They demolished the Mexican corn production market. So we have these cycles, these whole circles of exploitation and devastation going on that are run by these corporations. So this is true, not only in America but across the globe, that the corporate takeover of food is defining every element of production and farmland and control.